Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, Steven, and Shane. So, what up, guys?
Hello.
What's up, nerds?
We're back doing more Commander grades. That's right, back in the saddle. This time, in case you are wondering what we're doing, you clicked on the video, you probably already know, but it's the next pre-con deck called Scions and Spellcraft from the latest series, Final Fantasy. There are plenty of new legendary creatures from this deck to talk about as potential commanders. Because we got just so many legends. There was how many legends? 160 something,
I think it was like 200.
Eh, give or take.
Like 100
Um,
too many.
yeah. So let's just go ahead and start. Before we do, I just want to remind everybody to hit the like button and subscribe because we are almost at 20,000 subscribers. Almost. And when we get to that mark, big giveaway coming. So be ready. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this first card. It is the face of the deck. It's Y'shtola, Knight's Blessed. 1 white, blue, black for a 2/4 legendary creature cat warlock. It's got vigilance, and at the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, you draw a card. It also says whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Y'shtola deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Shane, you went ahead and upgraded Scions and Spellcraft using Y'shtola on here, YouTube. Check the links in the description if you guys want to see that upgrade. What do we feel about this as a potential commander?
We love her. She got me killed, but we love her. She's super strong, and for that, I think she's going to get a lot of board hate because whenever you deal damage to everyone at the table, you're not just doing it to one, obviously. So everyone kind of turns their head to you and goes, yeah, we don't like that. But I think everything is strong about her. It's even not like it'll come up in games where that 4 damage to a player will be you, and you get to draw a card. So there's a lot to like about her, and I think all of us here like her.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you there, Shane. I think Y'shtola is very, very powerful. Having the vigilance is really cool too because, I bought this precon. I've had plenty of time running it as the precon, and there are many times where like it's kind of hard to cast basically 6 mana worth of spells to get the trigger to draw a card. But with her having vigilance, I'm not really afraid to swing in, and it's just 2 damage. And most of the time, people don't have a lot of stuff on their board, so you're able to just like cast that 1 3 mana spell, get the extra 2 damage, and then you get the Y'shtola trigger, and then you're drawing a card. But having that, say, whenever a player lost 4 or more life, is fantastic because even if you get swung at, like you're just gonna draw a card. So if you're gonna get swung at anyways, you might as well draw a card for it.
Exactly, right? You see 4 damage coming your way, you've already gained a bunch of life. What's not just to take it, just to draw a card?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about this card, and maybe it's a bit of a nitpick, but it's the formatting of itself. I believe that at the beginning of the end step should be the second thing, because I feel like that's what triggers that most of the time. Weird nitpick, I know, but like normally when we see cards, it's usually like that end step thing.
That's your only
Bottom
nitpick.
card.
Got nothing bad to talk
I
about.
have a nitpick on this card too, if I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie. My nitpick is I really want the Surge Foil borderless, and I just don't have a half of a rent or mortgage payment to pay for it.
Half of a rent. That's like a quarter. What do you mean?
I mean, for y'all in California, yeah.
um, yeah, but let's go ahead and move on to the grades for this card. I think we're all on board with this being quite good. Shane, we'll start with you.
I don't know if I want to give her an A, but I think I'm going to give her an A. So she's going to get an A for me.
Okay. I want to give her an A. I mean, it's tough. I think that you have to put a lot of money into this for it to be good. The pre-con itself kind of struggles a little bit and does need a good amount of assistance. And I think for that, I'm probably going to put this at a B.
You know, Steven, I am in complete agreement with you. I think Y'shtola is very good. I think hitting that mana value 3 or greater is a little bit more difficult than some of the other cards that we've seen that just ping for 1 damage every time you cast a non-creature spell, period, without the stipulation of having a mana value of 3. So I'm going to give this a B. With that, Y'shtola Knight's Blessed gets the average grade of a B. Moving to the backup for Scions and Spellcraft, it's Grahatia Scion Reborn. It is a white, a blue, and a black for a 2/3 legendary creature cat wizard. It's got lifelink and throw wide the gates. which means whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay X life, where X is that spell's mana value. If you do, you create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token and put X +1/+1 counters on it. Do this only once each turn. Shane, once again, you upgraded the deck using Grahatia as the kind of commander of it. Also, links in the description if you want to check them out. How do we feel about Grahatia?
It went in a very different direction, but I was surprised about how much I like this deck. I was worried that I'd be hurting myself for way too much, but the lifelink on this helped. And then other things in the deck that I can either add in with the upgrade or already in the deck gave a lot of things lifelink. So there was a weird balance of wanting to hurt yourself. Obviously, life is a resource, and it's a really big resource in this deck. Not a average spellslinger deck. I wasn't casting a bunch of spells. I was probably casting 1, 2 spells, probably just one. That's like a larger spell, capitalizing on that, and then kind of commanding the board from there. But it was really fun. I liked it.
Yeah, I won't lie. I actually really think I prefer Grahatia at the helm of the deck. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but coming from the standpoint of this being your commander and building around this card, I think is insane. I think it's super fantastic. This is my comfort zone when it comes to commander cards. 3 mana to 2/3. It's got lifelink, and then the very next turn you're building a board, and that's fantastic. I love the name of it. It's throw wide the gates, and you are going wide. I played a game with the precon with this at the helm instead, and I had so many creatures on my board. And yes, you are losing life, but the way you can build this deck and by putting equipment on it, because this just cares about non-creature spells. So you can kind of almost go Voltron and be rewarded for going Voltron by also building a huge board while you're basically just swinging for like massive amounts of damage and then gaining that life right back. I love this card.
Hi, I'm the +1/+1 counter guy, and also the token guy. And this is what this card does. So I'm here for it. The only problem is that final sentence. I hate to do this only once each turn. This doesn't even seem like a very broken mechanic. So I'm very surprised it's a do this only once each turn. It's kind of wild to me, to be honest. It's a good card though. You're gonna be building your board up, get those token doublers going. I'm like it a lot. I don't know. I can't really say much else what you guys have already said.
And I'll agree with you. The do this once each turn is a pretty like big thing on this card, and it kind of is a huge negative. But what I really love about that sentence though is this is an Esper deck. So you are trying to control the board as well. So many times when I was playing this, I would just say draw, swing, gain some life, maybe cast a spell, and then I'd have my mana open and I'm able to basically do it on the next turn. So I have actions to react. I can exile creatures or counter spells. And most of the time you might be paying 3, 4, and in that precon, sometimes even 6 mana with like a Sublime Epiphany. And that is a wild little 7/7 you're making. So
Dude, not only that, you can cast things that get reduced in price because of delving or other means, and it still checks the CMC. So it's gonna be cheap for you and make a big body. Fantastic.
yeah.
Go ahead and move on to the grades. We'll start with Shane again.
I mean, I gave the face an A. I gotta give this one an A as well.
Yeah. I'm
Unfortunately.
gonna now before you even say it, I'm gonna join in and I'm gonna say this is an A.
I'm actually going to give this a C. I think that do this only once each turn really hurts this card. So, the average grade of Grahatia is a B. And the next card, including Riley. Say hi, Riley.
Hi. I had a
Moving on.
suspend counter on me. Sorry.
Perfect. We have a partner pairing. This is Alisaie Leveilleur and Alphinaud Leveilleur. Saying those very incorrectly. But we'll go over the first one first. Alisaie is 2 and a white for a 3/2 legendary creature, elf wizard. Obviously, it's got partner with the other one, like I said. It's got first strike. It also has dual cast, which means the second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. And then the other one, Alphinaud, is 3 and a blue for a 2/4 with vigilance. It says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, draw a card. So they care about casting their second spells each turn.
That's cute.
Pretty interesting.
I think they're interesting.
Wants to be kind of a spell slingy deck that cares about the second card a lot.
They just seem really expensive.
3 and a 4. That's
I guess
7 mana
that's the
for your
4. Yeah.
commanders. Yeah.
I guess
But
the problem with like most of these partner with in a specific type, it locks you in a lane, and I feel like they're almost always kind of clunky. I get that they work together,
they
but
do work
still.
together. I mean, if you had the mana and you did both of them at the same time, so let's say you cast Alisaie first, and then you've got 2 mana because now Alphinaud now only costs 2. Pretty cool. So if you really wanted to cast both, just wait a turn.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
mean, you
I
kind of
mean-
want both, to be honest with you, on the field. The unfortunate thing is, like, you're really picking your battles here, because if you do cast Alisaie first, which is what you want to do to make your next spell cost 2 less, you won't get to draw the card when you cast Alphinaud, which is a little unfortunate. And then you're waiting a whole turn cycle because you've now spent 5 mana. But I mean, it's tough. In this precon, I really like these just being in the deck and being support pieces, because I'm able to just basically get card advantage, because essentially I play one and I find the other one, and now I have that card in my hand. So I think at the helm of the deck they could be fun, but it is pretty expensive. And then when the one dies, you're kind of like, oh well, what do we do here?
I've never really been a fan of partner pairings. It's like just do it on one card. I don't feel there's a need to have 2 cards. I didn't like it when we did backgrounds for what was that? D&D.
Baldur's Gate? Oh, I actually
Yeah.
did like backgrounds.
Yeah, backgrounds
mean-
were great.
I'm not a fan of just the partner stuff. So that's just my opinion though.
Also gonna disagree. Love partner as a mechanic, just not whenever it's limited to a specific card.
Yeah, I think I'm with Riley on that one. 100%. The partner mechanic is good because you are bringing an extra color to what your commander deck can be, which opens a huge world of opportunities for what your deck can do.
Yes. Okay.
Same thing
I
with
will.
like the
I will.
background.
Let me just back up. I will agree with you that point. I agree what Riley said when it sticks to a specific card is what I meant.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Shane,
guess,
you got
but going
anything?
back to the cards, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Shane.
I didn't even say that I had anything to say. I guess I'm gonna be playing, I don't know what, like a control-y style deck with these colors, but like, I don't know. I'm not inspired by these as a commander pairing.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think we can move on to the grades. We will start with Steven.
Yeah, as the helm of the deck, I think I'm going to put these both at C's, I guess, or a C. I'll be honest, I think if we were talking about Alisaie at the helm of the deck on their own, I think I might actually maybe go a little higher, but just for the partner pairing here, it's going to be a C.
I don't know why you would put it separate, but I completely agree with you. I will give this a C as well.
I just don't feel like there's enough of an advantage here. I think that their clunkiness outweighs any kind of potential bonus you're gonna get. I'm gonna give them a D.
Yeah, hopefully I'm not destroying the character you love in this game, but I'm also thinking it's more of a D for me.
The Leveilleur siblings, I guess, I think, I don't know. Gets the average grade of a C. Next up, Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness. 1 white and a black. For a 2/2 legendary creature spirit warrior. It says whenever you cast a white spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain vigilance until end of turn. And whenever you cast a black spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain menace until end of turn. That's a fun card, Riley.
Yeah, just put in every creature that's in your deck be both a white and black legendary creature.
Yep.
And this deck just hums. Everything you control is gigantic with vigilance and menace.
Everything comes, yeah. 2+1/+1s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Great evasion. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, this card is so good.
You think it
Other
actually,
than the name.
Yeah.
Super here with this card.
Ardbert!
hopefully it doesn't get removed too many times, but at only 3 mana, I guess I don't really care.
I just admit, like, I'm going to cast my commander Ardbert.
Push your glasses up, yeah.
Yeah, I think this card is fantastic. Riley, you hit the nail on the head by joking about having both colors of legendary creatures in your deck, but just both colors of Orzhov in the deck as well. There's plenty of those removal pieces that are 2 colors that will trigger this because they care about spells, period. And that's putting a counter on your team is nothing to scoff at. I love
No.
that ability.
To jump in with what you just said too, you said an Orzhov spell. So if a spell is both white and black, it actually triggers both of these.
Exactly that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Whenever I see Orzhov, I always think of like gain drain strategies. This is a different lane where I just want to make a big board and smash face. I kind of like it.
Yeah, play all of your powerful legendary creatures. Shane, here's a home for Shieldred, one of your many copies.
Dude, I love Shieldred. Let's go. Not 2
I know,
colors
you
though.
have like 7.
I don't know. Shieldred doesn't have any white in it.
It's true.
It's true. Let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll kick us off with Ardbert. I like this card a lot. I'm actually going to give this a B.
I think this card is super fun. I think this would be like a great build it and bring it to your LGS, but I'm still going to give it a C.
Yeah, I got to go up to a B. I think this card is fantastic. It's, again, this is my wheelhouse. 3 CMC and just has so much upside.
Orzhov, legendary, good stuff. I'm with it. I think it's a B as well for me.
Well, Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness, gets the average grade of a B. Next up is Emet-Selch of the 3rd seat. It's 2, a blue and a black for a 3/4 legendary creature elder wizard. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. Whenever 1 or more opponents lose life, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. If that spell would be put into your graveyard, exile instead. Do this only once each turn. Once again, that final sentence absolutely destroying this card.
Hunter hates this card now.
Mm,
Even
not a
loves it though.
fan.
It's Demir.
Oh, do you, Steven?
It is Demir. I think it's fun. I don't. I would like somebody else to speak, and then I would like to take my turn.
I'll speak.
I think this card is bad.
I think that I'll get discredited immediately. I feel like I'm kind of jumping through a lot of hoops to do something like meh. But then this is where Riley says, "You're dumb." And I go, "Yeah, I'm dumb."
I'll tell you why you're dumb.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You're in the colors of self-mill. It's relatively easy to just like ping opponents to be able to turn this thing on. And the fact that, yeah, you do this only once each turn, but you can do this on your opponent's turns too, to still be able to get those instants. There's things you can do here. Do I think this commander is great? Absolutely not. But
I think there are easier ways to flashback cards from your graveyard than having to ping
I mean,
or just deal
it's cool
damage.
that this is a commander that allows for like flashback, as I think what we're just going to call it, without the card actually having some kind of flashback based mechanic.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's where I'm at with this card. I've made the argument many times before. Obviously, there are other cards that do it better. But at the same time, I do like this card. You know, it's 4 mana, but your spells do cost 2 less to cast, which is really nice. And there's plenty of ways to have your opponents lose life. So they don't have to be dealt damage. The loss of life is so much easier to do in this color pairing. I think that it could definitely have some impact. I'm just trying to find the route, and my mind is like tinkering right now, and it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Don't do things
You
that
could
hurt,
just
dude.
build this as like a solid control deck too. As
Yeah.
just like, I'm going to use my kill spell, and then if one of my opponents lose life, guess what? It's back online, because people are going to lose life over the course of a game.
Yeah, and I think actually now that we mentioned that, I do apologize. I think what's really cool about this is it doesn't have to be on your turn.
Yep.
You are casting instants and sorceries, if an opponent loses life. So if you have a drain effect on your field, it's somebody else's turn, they cast a spell, you're able to drain the table. Now you can counter that spell with a counter that normally would be kind of shitty because it's like 4 mana, now it's 2 mana. So I think that I'm getting really high on this card now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay,
think-
we're back.
I think Steven has completely talked me up into this and buying a copy for Talion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, but that's not as
This
the
is- this
commander.
is-
That's in the 99.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the grades. We will start with Steven, who seems the highest on this card.
Yeah, I was at a D before, and I just shot myself up to a B, and I know no one else will be that high. But I think just for the aspect of like building a drain effect on your board, which is super easy to do in Dimir, and being able to do stuff on everyone else's turn, which is what you want to do in blue black, I'm so here for this now.
I'm actually going to be middle of the road. I'll give this a C.
Even.
Riley,
Props to you, dude. You convinced me in every way. The more you talk, the more I fell in love. It's a B.
Wow.
I did it.
Steven is so
I
biased.
I don't get one every video, but
Yo.
I'll get it's a good little nugget.
Show us your arm, Steven. We need to see how biased you are. Yeah, exactly. There's that
I
Dimir.
got the Dimir logo tattooed on me.
I'm giving this a C.
Emet-Selch of the 3rd seat gets the average grade of a B.
Dimir for life.
Next up is Estinien Varlineau. Probably saying that wrong. 2 white and a black for a 3/3 legendary creature elf warrior. It says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on Estinien. It gains a flying until end of turn. At the beginning of your second main phase, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of your opponents who were dealt combat damage by Estinien or a dragon this turn.
So weird.
Super weird.
Very, very weird.
At least they said
Yeah,
or a dragon.
Orzhov dragons.
I
The
don't know.
exact opposite colors of the dragon decks that you both, Steven and Riley, are running.
Yeah, I mean, literally missing just these 2 colors. I'm not really here for this. I won't lie to you. I think this is like, we always talk about having to jump through hoops, and I think this is like hoop central.
A lot of
I would
hoops.
say I would agree with you completely. Not a lot of ways to get extra combats in these colors, so you have to swing with dragons. This is definitely an Orzhov dragon themed deck, and honestly, I don't think it's that good.
If you have a Maskwood Nexus, this commander is solidly just okay.
Which is
There
more
you go.
hoops. I don't know. I think that drawing cards wins games. We say that all the time, but I just don't see the line where I'm drawing enough to make this remotely worth it.
I mean, this card progressively gets worse as the game goes on. Like when you're at max, you're drawing 3 cards. So this card has a very high ceiling at the beginning of the game, and as the game goes on and people start to leave, you are now drawing less cards. Why just limit yourself to 3? You know, like just play. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of another, like Dimir maybe, and then you could
Shut
possibly
up.
draw way more cards.
I'm ready to move on.
I think we can move on to the grades. We'll start with Riley.
This is a D.
In agreement completely, this is a D for me too.
Yeah, this is going to be a D.
D all around.
Estinien Varlineau gets the average grade of a D. Moving on, we've got Fandaniel Telephoroi Ascian. 4 and a black for a 4/5 legendary creature elder wizard. Says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, surveil 1. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent may sacrifice a non-token creature of their choice. Each opponent who doesn't loses 2 life for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Kind of mean. This seems like a Riley card.
So this was one of the cards that was like a mission for me to go and pick up while we were at MagicCon Vegas. This is 100% a me card. It is very easy to limit your opponents where they have like no creatures to sacrifice.
Oh,
And then all of a sudden, they're facing no choice, but they're just going to be losing a ton of life. I love sacrifice decks. Maybe I have some trauma that I need to resolve. But oftentimes what those decks struggle with is like just finishing out a game. And this has the ability to very quickly start hitting for 10, 12, 14 plus. So it gets really, really scary really fast.
Yeah.
It looks really,
They
really
don't have
scary.
anything to sacrifice, then they're kind of losing a lot of life.
And in a mono black deck, like Riley mentioned, they're going to remove everything off your board constantly.
yeah, this is a really good card. By the way, I gave Riley a Fandaniel
Foil,
Wow.
thank you.
foil. It was a foil copy too. Yeah. Yeah, I had one in the pre-con, so I was like, I don't need an extra one. But now I kind of regret it because this card is really good. And normally I hate 5 mana commanders. I think that they're very expensive and they're hard to like get out there. But I've always had this dream of building a mono black, just make your opponent's lives miserable deck, and this screams that deck. Because
Dude,
essentially you are controlling the board at all times, and it just rewards you for playing the game. And when I say playing the game, I mean just for you playing the game.
I feel like
I
you
was
just
gonna
play
say,
a
But
tier
Steven,
grid deck, dude.
I was gonna
really
say,
important piece of text on this card, though, Hunter, before you say anything, is non-token. That
Yeah.
is such a beautiful keyword.
oh yeah, no, it's fantastic because most of the time people are just gonna sack their little tokens. But as someone that has played or does play a mono black make your opponent's life miserable deck, aka Tiny Bones, Steven, you played against it. You love that. It's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna head out.
It's a lot
Good
of
seeing
fun.
everybody. This has been a great video. Peace.
I agree with both Riley and Steven here. Mean card. 5 mana is a bit steep though.
I mean, you'll get it done. You're gonna be playing your other stuff, which is cheaper. But when this hits, you end the turn, and oops, you all got hit for 1 billion.
But I mean, here's the thing about this card being 5 mana. I don't really think I care about this being 5 mana because the whole point of this card is filling your graveyard with those instants and sorceries. So the entire time you're doing that, you're progressing your mana base and your board state with artifacts and mana rocks and enchantments that are helping you do the thing a little bit more. And essentially, once it gets to like turn 6 and your opponents have nothing on their board, you just cast this, and then they are faced with I'm gonna say a Doctor Who phrase here, a villainous choice. Are you gonna sack a creature? Oh, you don't have any. Take 20.
Take 20.
Not really a villainous choice, then, right?
I do agree completely with Steven's point there. I mean, 5, we do say a lot. It is a lot for a commander, but is it a lot for a card that wins the game? And this closes it out. So I'll give this one some grace.
Dude, can you imagine being the first person in rotation after a board wipe and cast this?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
That's
you guys are all screwed.
And you know what the best part is too? That board wipe was probably an instant or sorcery, and I guess I witnessed or failed. But I mean, it's going to trigger off of itself, or at least
Yeah,
count itself,
yeah.
like in the graveyard for this card.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
Blasphemous
this
Edict.
is really good. The fact that this is your end step, so as soon as you cast this, you're going to get the trigger on the stack. So your opponents have to respond before you move to your end step. So it's just that I really do love this, even at 5
I
mana.
hear that. Yeah,
All right. We all love it.
we all
Let's
love
move
it.
to the grades. We'll start with Riley.
You love this. However, I'm actually going to give this one a B. I just think it's better as a support piece.
This should get an A, but like the issue is that it still falls into the category where this is a monocolored deck and they do kind of struggle without some extra help. I want to give this an A, but it needs some more stuff. So I'm going to give this a B.
I know you guys talked about 5 mana not mattering. It matters to me. It's going to be a B.
Hey,
It
we
matters to
listen,
me, damn
we
it.
don't judge.
I got talked up on this a little bit though. I'm gonna stick with the B.
Well, Fandaniel gets the average grade of a B. Next up is Hermes, Overseer of Elpis. It's 3 and a blue for a 2/4 legendary creature Elder Wizard. It says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying and vigilance. And whenever you attack with one or more birds, scry 2. I actually threw this as a support piece in the Choco deck. EDH.
Is that because it cares about birds?
It's for the
Cares about
birds.
Wow.
Shocker.
Very good support piece. But
I would
is this
imagine.
a good commander? I mean, it can make you a ton of birds. There's not that clause of do this only once each turn, which is great. Love that. But at what point are you going to run out of spells?
I mean,
Mono
this
blue.
this could be Riley's
Never.
bird kindred deck. This is the only bird in the deck.
Yeah.
Because it does allow you to scry. I do like that a lot. Aside from that, this card is, what is it, Talrand? The one that makes the drakes?
Oh yeah.
This
2/2s.
is literally just Talrand, but it's making smaller things that have a little bit more of an upside.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this card is kind of bad, but there are cards that just came out in Final Fantasy as well that really help out with this. That could be a support piece in this deck, like Matoya, Archon Elder. It says whenever you scry or surveil, you draw a card. So again, just helping you kind of finish out and get those extra non-creatures. I like what Shane said because Riley makes the joke a bunch. This is going to be my bird kindred deck with absolutely no birds.
For the birds.
That's for the birds.
Moving on to the grades. Steven, what are you giving Hermes?
I give Hermes a B. I mean, I think mono blue is super strong. If all it wants to do is cast nope spells, and for you doing the nope spells, you get birds with flying and vigilance, which are fantastic.
I think this is middle of the road for me. I'm going to give Hermes a C.
Love this so much. I think this card is bad. I'm gonna give it a D.
I think I'm a blue player, and I probably wouldn't play this card. I'm gonna give it a D as well.
Nah, you're all wrong.
That's fine.
Hermes, Overseer of Elpis, gets the average grade of a C. Moving on to Hildibrand, Manderville. It is a creature that's also a adventure. So, the adventure is called Gentleman's Rise. 2 and a black, an instant, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Then, if you want, you can cast it for Hildibrand, Manderville himself. For 1 and a white, it's a 2/2 legendary creature, human detective. As creature tokens you control get +1/+1, and whenever Hildibrand Manderville dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until end of your next turn. Very reminiscent to Mosswood Dread Knight, doing the same thing of if this dies, you can cast it for the adventure side. Exact same text.
Very
Which is a very cool ability to get around commander tax. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like rules question for everyone at home. I mean, so essentially you're casting this for the adventure, probably first. Then you're casting this as a creature. It dies, it goes to the graveyard. Nobody messes with your graveyard. You can just continue to recycle this.
Correct.
Yeah, if Riley doesn't give this an A, I quit this. I quit this channel.
This card is not an A.
This is not an
This
A.
card is a fantastic Orshoff commander. You
This card is
cannot tell me otherwise.
boring.
Oh, let me.
I am telling you otherwise. This card is not that good.
This card's
It's
uninspiring,
this
Steven.
grade.
just a token anthem.
Do I want to pay 5 mana for this effect? Absolutely not, ever. Hunter, you read this card, and I had to double check because I know that rarity is determined by draft, and I was just like, "Why is this a rare?" I don't see it here. I don't want to make a 2/2 zombie. I don't care about the minor pump that tokens get. It's cute that it can sometimes kind of dodge commander attacks. Let's be real, most removal is not going to destroy commanders. It's going to exile. I'm not here for this.
I mean, and I'll completely agree. I think most removal is exile, not destroy anymore. But you're an Orshoff. You can sack this, and it'll go to your graveyard in response to a target. And with the sack, you get gain. You get gain and drain. You also get mana sometimes. And I think it's super fantastic because this is also kind of like a combat trick, and I kind of like it where somebody sees that you do not have a board. You pay the 3 mana, you make that 2/2, and boom. Because this is at instant speed. You can cast this from your graveyard as the adventure side, which is an instant. I think that's
your combat trick here is specifically for a 2/2 blocker. I am not afraid of being blown out by a 2/2.
I'm not saying you're going to
defense.
be blown out by a 2/2 blocker, but this is constantly making you a creature for sack outlets, and then obviously you're an Orshoff, so you're just building your deck around it. This is a token generator and also token like pumper all in one card, and I think that's fantastic to have in your command zone, the graveyard, or in on an adventure having fun.
For 5 mana, you get a token.
Can you call this a generator when you have to pay for it every time?
It generates a token when you play it.
All right, I've said enough.
You got anything to add, Shane?
I think that this is a great support piece in a tokens matter deck. That's all I got for you.
Y'all are going to make me do it.
You are, and you're gonna look stupid.
We're gonna be so
Nope.
polarized here. I love this. Go for it.
Everyone in the comments below is going to agree with me. I know
Okay.
everyone at home. They're with
Personally,
me.
you know everyone
I
personally.
feel it in the comments.
I need in the comments. Who do you agree with? Do you agree with Steven or probably everybody else?
We're gonna create a flame war, Jesus.
Let's move on to the grades, and we will start with Steven.
All right, all almost 20,000 of you comment below right now that this is an A.
This is a D.
It's an F. I never want to play this. I don't even think I like this in the 99.
It's a great support piece. It's a D.
Well, the average grade for Hildibrand Manderville is a C.
Get wrecked.
Here's a card called Hraesvelgr of the First Brood. That's what I'm saying for this one. It's 4 and a blue for a 5/5 legendary creature Elder Dragon. We got a new Elder Dragon. It's got flying, vigilance, and ward 2. It's also got Shiva's Aid. It says when it enters, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. Dragons, Riley.
Yeah. This doesn't care about other dragons.
It
Elder
is a
Dragon.
dragon, that's for sure.
You can go with your
Yeah,
dragon. now.
It is a dragon. It only cares about itself. I don't know. It's a really cool card. I don't know what it is specifically that draws me to it. Maybe it's just the fact that this is like a dragon in blue that could be my commander, and I just find that to be really cool. Ward 2 is okay. I do love vigilance, and then I love the fact that I can just like play draw spells, and then my commander gets pumped and can't be blocked. So maybe I play like a little Voltron-y control-y game.
True.
Maybe.
Nah.
I think, is this a good support piece for your Mirim deck?
No.
Cares about ETB trigger.
Yeah, but it says whenever I cast a non-creature spell, I think there's like 6 non-creature spells in that deck.
I think this is a good support piece and like maybe even a poison deck. I want to be a meanie head, but I don't know if I'd put it at the helm.
Mean meanie head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put this at the helm either. Like I feel like it would be good in a Mirim deck. I feel like it would also be good in Steven's deck as well. What do you think, Steven?
I mean, I'm going to say no, because most of the time when I play Ureni, because that's the deck Hunter's referring to, I'm trying to find the dragon in the top 8. I don't really care about dragons being in my hand. I specifically don't run like Draco Genesis or anything like that. So, I mean, for me, just ramp and lands and mana rocks are what I care about. Ureni does the rest. So this coming down and being able to give the creature that already attacked unblockable, I mean, it's not really useful. Ureni's a 7/7 flying in the air. Nobody's doing anything about it.
I think it's pretty good. I mean, giving something unblockable, it's never to scoff at.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
lot
you.
of powerful keywords there too. Flying, vigilance, and ward 2. I don't know. It seems like it's doing a lot, but also not doing very much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's a 5-mana dragon.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the grades. I'll kick us off. This one for me, it's going to get at the middle of the road. See.
I really like this card, and the artwork is really cool. Plus, the name is badass. I'm gonna give it a D.
Yeah, because this makes Swords of the Plowshares and Path to Exile cost 3 mana, I'm going to give this a D.
Okay. Not for those reasons. I just think this is a better support piece. I wouldn't want to play with at the helm. I'm gonna stay a D as well.
Well, Hraesvelgr gets the average grade of a D. Next up is Krile Baldesion. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a white and a blue for 2/1 legendary creature dwarf wizard. It's got lifelink and trace aether. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may return target creature card with mana value equal to that spell's mana value from your graveyard to your hand. Do this only once each turn.
You love it.
All right, well, Hunter hates it.
Hunter's in.
I do. I hate this card.
I think it's
Again,
Bad final sentence. Bad card.
yes, bad final sentence, but can run it into mill and even self mill. And again, once each turn, your opponents have turns. And this is cares about non-creature spells.
Yep.
I'm not saying this is good, but I'm saying there is definitely ways to work around. This is Azorius control at its finest.
I think
Sure.
Maybe
This-
semi-finest.
I think
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to play with this card if I'm being honest, because there's no wiggle room. You have to set up perfectly. The spell you cast needs to be the exact CMC. It's not like that or less. And so like when I was playing with this card, it was very hard because like you don't always have the perfect CMC. Granted, you might be able to set it up better that way, but for me, it's like, well, I want to get this thing back, but nothing in my hand is that CMC. It's kind of tough.
That's kind
Yeah,
of tough.
having it equal mana values definitely hurts this card even more.
Especially with it having to like kind of balance of like non-creature to creature, and they go back to your hand, not even back to the field.
Yeah,
This is a 2-mana 2/1 with lifelink that sometimes has an ability.
Yeah.
I know.
You
Let's
know what I just
move
thought about? Do you think that Creole is reading a note that says how to jump through hoops?
Probably. I think they're actually reading their grades. Let's
Joke's
give it
on
the
you.
grades.
They can't read.
Let's go on to the grades. I'm giving this an F.
There we go. We busted you out of your shell. You're no longer playing conservatively with these. It's an F.
Oh man. I give it an A. Bump the grade. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if I can give it an F. I think it does something. It's a lot of hoops, but I mean, built correctly, I think it'd be fine. But I will give it a D. I'm not gonna go to a C. This is nowhere near a C.
I'm convinced. I don't like this card. I'm gonna say F.
I'm the nice
Krile
guy this time, huh?
Baldesion gets the average grade of an F. Another Azorius card. It's Lyse Hext. 1 white and a blue for a 2/2 legendary creature human rebel monk. It's got prowess, and non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And as long as you've cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, Lyse Hext has double strike. That can get mean very quickly.
This could get nuts, dude. Absolutely
It's
nuts.
like it's kind
Double
of
strike
screams we
prowess.
have Elsha at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I put this in Elsha.
Mom, Dad, I really want to go buy an Elsha, please. Nah, we have Elsha at home, and this is what you see.
This gets double strike
There's
though, dude. That's different.
Double strike is different.
Double strike is
like
different.
my brain originally went to like, okay, put curiosity on this and like play around with that kind of avenue where I
Yep.
can get a bunch of card draw and be able to make this thing gigantic and then really hurt my opponents. And then my brain immediately switched from that to why do I want this effect in Azorius? There's already like 15 other choices for these kinds of styles, either in Jeskai or in Izzet, and they're kind of all better.
I think
Yeah,
it just
I
does
mean,
so much on one card though, dude.
it really does. Makes spells cheaper, which makes it easier to boost this, which makes it easier to give it double strike.
Yeah.
I said this about the new Gear Hulk that's Azorius that has prowess and double strike. Not normally something we see, and here it is again. Pretty nuts. But
Yeah, still
I
gets
think
blocked by a 1/1.
it can,
Very
sure.
much true.
But it can also just wreck an opponent with commander damage very quickly.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
is definitely a world for that. I mean, like you play like Slip Through Space and all those other cards where it's like all of a sudden this thing is unblockable and you're
unblockable.
going to
Yeah.
be dealing a massive amount of damage.
Yep.
However, my thought still with all of this being is, I don't know. I don't think non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. I don't think that's actually a good line of text here. Just because a lot of the cards that I want to be playing with this kind of a strategy already cost 1 mana.
I was gonna
So
say
to
that,
me,
yeah.
that's kind of more flavor text rather than anything. It's a cool
I mean, it
card.
does open the world to the 2-mana
Now
cantrips that you
costing
really would
1
like.
mana.
Yeah.
Oh, only, however, if she's in play.
True.
And I think that she's
Yes.
going to be a bit of a hate generator for that aspect as well, because she can come out of here and just like hit somebody really, really, really hard in a single turn.
You also have to remember all of your counter magic. You could probably sneak one in on somebody because they're gonna be a little cheaper. They might not expect you to have all these. I don't know. There's ways to protect her too. Like I would have fun playing this card. It would probably die a million times, but I'd have fun playing it.
I always look at different color combinations that don't normally do the thing they're kind of trying to do. Like Azorius is kind of known for control. This is like more the fact of, hey, I'm trying to kill you with damage. Let's move on to the grades. I think I might be the highest here. I'm actually going to give Lyse Hext a B.
Yeah, I think you are the highest. I just, with Elsha being the same CMC and basically doing what this wants to do, but better and building your board, I can't be at a C. I think it is good though with the prowess and the non-cre. I'll give it a C. I'm very middle. It's like it's very debatable between a D and a C for me right now.
I think Steven brought up a really good point. It's just like there's just too much competition in this lane. It's a viable option, but I don't think this is even scratching the top 5 for that strategy. I'm going to give it a C.
I mean, I played Elsha, and Elsha was nuts. Elsha was like a board on a stick, and then I feel like this could just slap an opponent out of nowhere, and kind of with Hunter, dude. I want to give it a B.
Lyse Hext gets the average grade of a B. Moving on to Papalymo Totolymo. It's white and a black for a 1/2 legendary creature dwarf wizard. Says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. You also pay 4, tap, and sacrifice Papalymo Totolymo. Each opponent who lost life this turn sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. Pretty
That's some
interesting,
crazy
Shane.
flavor text.
I mean, the
Flavor
bottom part.
text.
I think the bottom part's kind of flavory, but maybe not. It's only 2. You could probably do that a couple times. But top part seems cool. Cast some spells, and I mean, you're only doing 1, gaining 1, but not that bad. I've seen worse.
There is worse.
Better.
I've definitely seen better.
It was better.
It's not really like the whole sack a creature kind of thing, so it's a different lane, but kind of cool.
This is my thought here. I'm going to build this with just a massive amount of mana rocks so that I'm just draining all of you, and then every time somebody wants to swing at me, I just pay 4, tap this. I just like, hey, we're sacrificing the biggest thing, okay?
Be really funny.
Plus, then I
card's
would have
not
the
good.
mana to recast.
This is not a great card.
Even likes
But
it.
it's fun name to say.
Well, when
It
did
is
you get the
great.
idea that I like this?
When you said this card's great, you told me that.
I'm done with positive things to say about this card.
Moving on to the grades. I think this is an F.
Whoa.
It's cheap. It's got a really cool name, and Dwarf Wizard is an amazing creature type. It's an F. I don't want to do it.
It's fine. I won't do it. This is a D. I still think it like I don't get me wrong. I know you were joking, but I like the mana rock idea.
Hey, I had the only positive thing to say about it. I'm giving him a D.
Hey, there he is.
Papalymo Totolymo gets the average grade of a D. Moving on to Tataru Taru. It's 1 and a white for a 0/3 legendary creature, Dwarf Advisor. When Tataru Taru enters, you may draw a card, and target opponent may draw a card. It's also got Scion's Secretary, which means whenever an opponent draws a card, if it isn't that player's turn, you create a tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Hunter, you love that piece of text.
Hell no.
If I'm giving my opponent card draw, I want something in exchange multiple times. Why not just give me the amount of treasures?
Multiple times.
You know,
Because that
it's
would
like-
be wild. 2 mana
like
card.
It's like if my opponent had Rhystic Study. Can I just not have treasures because of your Rhystic?
so
Mhm.
that actually right there is my thought on this. If I am playing like a blue draw heavy deck, this is probably gonna be the bane of my existence. Actually, this is gonna be like one of my highest targets in play to just like kill this
Yeah.
so that you stop getting an advantage.
But is it really that much? I mean, I guess technically, I mean,
4 treasures per
It's
turn
supposed to be-
rotation, assuming I'm drawing that many cards.
Yeah, but you can't rely on that, dude. This card
It
is a
would be
great
3.
support piece.
because technically that
Yes.
fourth turn would be your own. So
You know what? You're right. Yeah.
I'm
This
playing
card's bad.
this card in Miss Bumbleflower, and it's gonna be amazing. Other than that, it is not a commander.
This is
Yeah.
oh, that's a good card to add to Miss Bumbleflower. I won't lie to you. Man, look at that. We're talking about support pieces already.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Moving on to the grades. We will start with Shane.
Sorry, Tataru Taru, you're getting an F.
Yeah, Tataru Taru also getting an F.
Yeah, it's tough because like this screams like mono white group hug, but there are so many other cards that do group hug so much better. And for I can't give this I can't even give this a D, so it's an F.
Cool name and a really cool creature type. It's an F. I love the artwork.
Tataru Taru gets the average grade of an F.
You want a card?
Moving on to Thancred Waters. It's 4 and a white for a 3/5 legendary creature human warrior. It's got flash. It's also got Royal Guard, which means when it enters, another target legendary permanent you control gains indestructible for as long as you control Thancred Waters. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Thancred Waters gains indestructible until end of turn. Very similar to the art, we're just playing Protect.
It's a support piece. This is not going to be my commander, unfortunately. I get that you have access to it at any point in the game. It's super telegraphed, and it's expensive, and it doesn't do enough, in my opinion.
It doesn't do anything except just protection, not from exile removal.
It's the ability to protect itself so long as you can cast a non-creature spell. But in all fairness, I think if this was 3 mana, I still wouldn't play it.
Damn.
I'm playing this at 3 mana.
Maybe not as my commander.
Not
but
at the helm of my deck though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not at the helm. Sorry.
Then we just move on to the grades. We will start with Riley.
F. I'm gonna keep on
F.
theme.
F.
F all around. Sorry, Thancred.
Thancred Waters, the average grade of an F. And the final card from the Scions and Spellcraft deck is Urianger Augurelt. Hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. It is a white and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature, Elf Advisor. It says whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, it gain 2 life. Has an ability called Draw Arcanum, which means you can tap it. Look at the top card of your library. You may exile it face down. Also has another ability called Play Arcanum, which you can tap it. Until end of turn, you may place cards exiled with Urianger. Spells you cast this way cost 2 less to cast.
Talk about hoops,
That-
Batman.
I was going to say, this is one of those like level up, level up, level up, level up, do the thing. Level up, level up, level up, level up, do the thing. And
Yeah,
it's
but the
just too
thing is,
slow.
1 piece of card advantage.
Yeah, that's really
only-
good. All right.
You only gain 2 life.
Is this a good support
Honestly-
piece again? Maybe.
No,
I mean, no. Sorry, no.
I don't
I-
even think this is a good support piece.
I think this card is just bad, honestly. It is just not good. It's just too slow.
You know, actually, I take it back. This is a plant. Okay, calling it now.
Okay.
We're going to Edge of Eternities. We're going to get lands that you can play from exile. Instead of putting them on the battlefield,
Mm.
you just you exile them somehow and then you play them directly from exile. That's what this card is for.
Called Warp.
Land warp.
My hand warp.
Yo, but I heard a thing real quick about this card. Steven said he loved it, so what he says.
Sure. Yeah, I do love this card because this is a combo card. This is a card that revolves around basically finding Dramatic Reversal and Isochron Scepter and just untapping all your non-land permanents. You tap basically this card, untap it, tap it, you exile your entire deck, and you win with Thassa's Oracle.
Whoa.
I have a question.
Answer.
Question for you.
Mhm.
Aren't there 7,000 legendary creatures that are better for that?
Yes.
Sure. But we're talking about this one.
All right.
If you're okay.
Alright.
If you're a Final Fantasy player and you really like Final Fantasy and you want to play with that dumb combo, this is your guy.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong on this, so please correct me. The Play Arcanum, so when you tap them to basically do the play exile cards with him, does it stack the -2?
yeah, spells you cast. Cost 2 less to cast.
So again, if you don't want to go the combo route, you can still do the Dramatic Reversal Isochron Scepter loop and just kind of have fun with that. And I think this card has a bunch of different ways you can play, but essentially this is a super cheap commander to win as fast as possible in Azorius control with a combo, and that's super strong.
You already here, dude.
Well-
Card's bad.
Let's go ahead and move on to the grades, and we'll start with you, Steven.
Sure, I'll give it an A.
What the fuck?
Y'all, listen, you can hate me as much as you want. You can call me crazy, but it is viable. It is very strong. It can protect itself. It can do the thing, and you can. It's a very easy win.
I absolutely love how the Thassa's Oracle win combo goes to this card and not Emet-Selch, which just like Demonic Consultation, go grab Thassa Oracle, and then Demonic Consultation again because he lets you do that all in the same turn. But it
No,
goes to this
Riley.
card
No,
instead.
Riley.
It's 4 mana.
I'm
You're
gonna give
right.
it a D.
It's an F.
I don't want Steven to win this. I'm giving it an F too.
Well, the average grade for Urianger is a D.
We did it. We beat Steven. Make sure that you comment down below that we were all right and he was wrong.
And that is going to do it for us today. If you guys liked that video, hit the like button and subscribe. Once again, almost at 20,000 subscribers. So, yeah, subscribe. If you guys agree with our grades, disagree with our grades, we're interested in hearing your guys' opinions. Comment down below, especially with all the ones that we fought about. Who was on the right side? Whose opinion did you value more? But also, while you're down there, check the description. You'll find links to all of the upgrades that I mentioned throughout this video and all of our social links. Follow us on those as well. And on the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It really does mean the world to us. If you guys wanted to check out what they're seeing, which is not here on YouTube, including early access content, exclusive content, and all that jazz, check the link in the description as well and consider subscribing. And a very special shout out to our Gains Indestructible tier, starting with
Aaron Hill,
Aaron Martin.
Brian Ganilla,
Daryl Tripp.
Demarion Turner,
Dr. Rome.
Jimmy Ward,
Kevo.
Larry Killian.
Samuel Abbott.
Thrifty PSGR.
And William Colombo.
You guys are awesome. Appreciate every single one of you. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.
Please agree with me.
Bye-bye. Please agree with me.